All right, we are live. Hello, friends. Welcome to our live conversation in the teacher feature today. Our today's guest is just excellent and amazing and beyond. We have Rana George with us today. I am so very honored and I'm so very excited about having and welcoming Rana George to my channel today. And I don't even know how to start introducing you, Rana, but let me try. Let me just take a minute to introduce you to those people who may not know you. So Rana George is the author of the best-selling Rana George Lenormand book and Rana George Lenormand deck. Rana is a renowned psychic and a medium who is also a spiritual teacher and spiritual mentor and a teacher to so many of us here in the community. Rana is known as the Queen of Lenormand in cartomancy circles, and I think it's so deservingly so. I think so too. And it's such an honor for me to welcome you, Rana, for this conversation today onto my channel. So hello again.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for the nice words. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for taking time and for joining me and joining. We have quite a few people here online as well, so I'll just put a banner to welcome everyone. So welcome everyone who is joining and joining us. Rana, I've been wanting to have a conversation with you for so long because, well, some of my friends here in the chat they know, but you are my first Lenormand teacher, and well, I only discovered Lenormand very early in 2017. So you were the ones who introduced me to Lenormand, and then of course you did the master class, right? The
Yeah.
master class in
Yeah.
2017. I can't believe it's been so long. Yeah. So you're very, very special to me, and I'm very grateful for what you've done for Lenormand. You know, for Lenormand, well, to really kind of bringing Lenormand into the world, right? To yeah, for us to learn from you and to learn to love the system.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it is my passion. I've been doing it forever and ever and ever since I was 11 before my twins. So, and I love to see people using it and enjoying it and using that tool to better their lives. And I get these messages saying thank you. I just use the Lenormand, use the technique, and and that helped me through my marriage, and some other person like helped me through my work, and somebody else that helped me through my college and through my uh, classes. So it just makes me so happy that um, it is spreading, and there is amazing teacher that are blossoming right now everywhere. And this is my passion and my wish, and I'm seeing it like all coming through. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so people in the chat saying the Queen of Lenormand and Beverly is here. Saying,
Beverly,
yeah. We have quite a few here. Mindy was
I
here.
miss you, Beverly.
Yeah. And yes, Nancy saying that she's learned so much
Aw.
from your book. Yeah, but I would love you to share a little bit more of your story. But before we do, and you kind of touched on that a little bit, what do you think? Because even in 2017, when I discovered Lenormand, among my friends, it wasn't really that popular.
Mm,
People knew a little bit that, okay, it's different from Tierra, but
mm,
now it's becoming more and more popular. Why do you
mm.
think so? What do you attribute the popularity of Lenormand that it's becoming more common?
Because it is people are noticing when you're actually like when you practice, and the more you practice it, and people are noticing the accuracy, people are noticing how like very on point it is, and how it when you really click with it, is just a, it's like having a friend and a conversation, and you just ask a question and the friend will answer you. Like I'm seeing that more and more and more, and the more people are getting that, and like, oh my god, oh my god, because it's not vague, it's not, the answer could be this or it could be this, and there's a possibility that you might do this, but no, this is like a very straightforward. Is he gonna call? No. Is he coming back? No. Or are we gonna get back together? Maybe later, but not now. So the answer is always very sharp, and this is
Mm.
what people want. They want like a straight answer. And that accuracy, when we hit that accuracy, when a student hit that accuracy, they just fly with it, and they love it so much, and people talk, and more people talk, and more bring more people in.
Mm.
And this is how it's growing, and I love seeing the people that I taught becoming teachers. Oh my god, this is
Mm.
a dream come true. And I'm here to support all the teachers, to help all the teachers, because at the end of the day, it's really spreading this tool that helps you have a better life, because it's more than a fortune telling. This is like such a very strong tool of growth, and knowing yourself, and so much. It's like such a broad things when you start doing the Lenormand.
Mm.
And the more you it's amazing. It's just amazing. This is why I think, because also the more you practice this, the more your psychic ability becomes stronger in your day-to-day life. So because you're becoming more accurate, you're starting to understand things. So what
Mm.
happened is, like, you would be in the car, and before, you'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm taking this road right now. So you start getting these things of intuition stronger, gut feeling stronger, and you start trusting it. And because we
Yeah.
all have the intuition, we all have the gut feeling, we all have that, but most of us have a hard time trusting and ourselves, and that self-doubt. So the more we do it, the more in our day-to-day life, not just during readings, we become like this.
Mm.
This is, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
huge,
we begin to
huge.
see better, and those associations become so like immediate. Yeah, yeah, because well, I read tarot cards and Lenormand cards, but for me, when reading for others, where also Lenormand wins, that when I well, I'm kind of still, I consider myself a beginner reader in both, but when I read tarot for people, sometimes they don't see what I see in the cards, because certain things, especially with Tarot de Marseille, but with Lenormand, because it's the language, and it's so symbolic that when I read for people who are not familiar with the cards, they see what I see. They see the fox, they see a snake, and if they ask about their life, and like a fear that they're like person having, right? It's like there is no way around it. So it's very, very clear, and I can't, like, as a reader, it's easy in a way that my sitters, they see what I see, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine somebody telling you, is she good for me? And then you get the snake card.
Hmm.
Um, so you go around it. You're like, so what do you mean? Like, in what way is she good for you? Is she good for you in the relationship? So you shuffle again, and you get the snake card again. Then you have to say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't like sugarcoat it. That's
Hmm.
the cool thing about it. It's like very, I mean, you can sugarcoat. If you are a good sugarcoater, you can sugarcoat anything, even if it's like, you're like, yeah, she's probably trying to play it so she can like make it better for you. So you can sugarcoat everything.
Hmm. Or
But
she's wise, she has this Kundalini energy.
yes. Oh, this is when we go off the
It's so
limit more,
flexible.
and we become like in the oracle and talking about shutting and light. This is when you're having any other oracle, and then you see the snake in this different light. But no, I would repeat this. until the end of days. The snake in Lenormand is a snake, is actual snake. It's an actual snake. It's not a kundalini. It's not a unless the context is everything. The context is everything. So unless you're talking what's, oh my god, I have a gift or something, what's that, and it's like maybe a bracelet, or if you have, you're talking actually about some spiritual changes, and I'm going through this, what's happening to me and spiritually, and I'm having these pains and da, 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 and then you get the snake. So this is how it changes. But when you're doing a regular reading, like just a regular reading, a snake is an actual snake, is like a snake on the ground, or somebody is going to bite you, or
Yeah.
somebody's going to lie to you, or somebody's deceiving you, or somebody's, trying to pull the thing over your head, trying to mesmerize you and not seeing things. So,
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so going back with you growing up, right? And I know quite many people in this live chat, but yeah, more people will be watching, of course, later. Some know about you, some read your book. Some people like me have your book on a paper copy and on the Kindle, fans. But can you just little bit share a little bit about your story with the cards and your story with Lenormand?
My story with the Lenormand is, the funny thing, I didn't even know that they're called Lenormand, because they were given to me when I was very, very, very young. And I was 11 years old. And it was like this little tiny box. I have it now. I keep it in, hidden in a way, because I don't want to touch it, because it's starting to fall apart. Because I found out it's from like World War II.
Wow.
And it was like a soldier, that had it and they used to give it in as a gift with cigarette, and they had it like in the cigarette packs. It's a gift. This is the one I have, and the one I have is like, that's like very rare. I found out, so I'm like, I'm not touching it, not putting oil on it, because it's falling apart. And I just had that little booklet that it came with it, and the person that gave it, that had it, and he's like, you're gonna be able to figure that out. You're not gonna need. You're gonna work with it. You're gonna, First, I used to use the booklet. I used to do for, and then it just opened up because I was young, and when you're young, you don't have so much here. It's very open, and so when you open that door, it just like opens so wide. And so I start getting like an avalanche of information every time I open the grand tableau. And I used to do grand tableaus all the time. uh yeah, it was mind blowing, because it was very, very accurate, even at a young age. And I would do it, like, people would come, the whole neighborhood would come to me, um, asking about, like, my name, my mom's friends and my mom's neighbor, like, when am I getting married? When are my sons gonna have a job? When am I? So it was all of these things, when can we move out? When can we? All that kind of, what's happening. So it was all like around like the same thing. And but I used to see more. Like, I used to tell them, okay, so you have to be careful of this. You have to be careful of this. This might happen. And then this thing would happen, and they would come and yell at me. Like, I don't want to do this.
No. Yeah,
So
because it
yeah,
must
it was
be
it was
quite.
hard. It was hard, very hard growing up, because then people will start like getting scared,
Mm,
and they start like, would call me name. And my best friend like stopped, come talk to me, because her mother told her, I'm keeping, what did she say, I am keeping suitors away because I don't want her to be married.
oh my goodness.
I'm like, what? We're like only 16. So
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
it was very difficult. How do I say, challenging, and I learned a lot through the difficult time, and I had to go very down to come back up again,
Mm.
and being encouraged to do that again.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine that it must have been so hard to learn to navigate that as well. Was it scary for you as well when you were, when you would see the visions and you have to tell people like, look, the news are not really that great.
No, I because I was young, and I was very, very, very naive. And so it was like movies, watching movies, and whatever I
Mm,
see, I just say it. Whatever comes to me, I just say it. Um, it's not until later I start like, okay, maybe I need to say it that way, not that way. I was like very raw, very, very. Yeah, it
mm,
was. It wasn't scary. No, no, no. I would say, but there is the time that it was scary because it was the scary part was when I would see death, and because I
mm,
was living in war, that the coffin was actual death, and
mm,
actual death would happen. So, and that happened multiple times. That really made me like, I really don't want to do this anymore.
mm,
So that was the the coffin plays a role that whatever your environment, if your environment very stressful, if you're living around you and it comes like in a stress, or it comes exhaustion, or it comes as being extremely tired, or depression, or just that
mm,
heaviness. But if you're in a place that in an actual war, and you get the coffin,
mm.
that's there is no depression, there is actual, is telling you you have there's a death happening.
Yeah. Well,
So when
you
I
see,
get that, I now got that a lot. So that was
like,
that was the tough one.
yeah, where I come from, I come from Eastern Europe, so Ukraine, Russia, Belarus at war now. So
Hmm.
I do not do readings for that. Many people do, but I kind of, yeah, I stay away from those. Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to do what is okay with you as a
mm,
soul, that you can sleep at night and you're okay.
yeah.
And if it's not okay, you wait until you're okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I just highlighted the comment from Beverly. She's saying that the reading I received from Rana was life changing. Definitely recommend getting one if you have an opportunity. Yeah.
Kisses to Beverly, kisses to Nicole.
Hmm. Yeah, well, now when you do readings with Lenormand card, do you use when you sit with your sitters with querents, do you just read the cards, or you still use your psychic experiences and visions that you have on top that
The
come from
cards are a tool and a doorway. So it kind of like opens, and it depends on the situation, and it depends on every client is different, and every client needs something. Sometime I use the card, and then I go off. Of course, there is always a psychic and a connection. Always, this is what
Mhm.
divination is. A tool to actually focuses you on, okay, so talk about this is what they need this area, and they need this area. You don't need to talk about this, and you don't need to talk about this, and this is what they do. But sometimes it depends. I follow my feeling, and whatever my feeling is, it just i listen to I listen to hear, and then I
Mhm.
do whatever comes to me.
Yeah.
um Most of the time I always open a grand tableau, because and sometimes I open the grand tableau and I just see for myself, and then I take it out and I do a different type of reading altogether. But it
Mhm.
does help.
Yeah, I'm curious, Rana, from a little girl in Lebanon reading cards for your neighbors who kind of somewhere afraid of your readings, to fast forward years becoming such a well-known person in the world in Lenormand, especially, right? An educator, a teacher, a mentor. still a reader, what do you attribute your success to? From, yeah, from in Lebanon when you almost kind of were giving up, didn't want to do readings, to becoming to be where you are at today and presenting at, well, we'll talk a little bit about World Divination Summits, right? Yeah, so I'm curious.
My success, I would attribute it to my upbringing, my mother, my family, my sister, my husband, my late husband, my kids. Without them, my very close circle of close friends, they believed in me. The friends that I've had, for a while, and even the people that really believed in me, and people that um, trusted me and pushed me to do it. And my late husband actually was the one to tell me I need to, go ahead and make the book, and to go ahead and do it. And also the friends I had, I would say, in Reader Studio also, they literally pushed me. Like they like pushed me. They're like, go now, go and do a presentation, like an impromptu. And it was like Reader Studio gave me this platform, that I'm very very grateful for. And because of that, I met the publisher, you know
Mm,
and it just,
yeah.
yeah. And the support, I wouldn't have been able to write it if my late husband didn't give me the time to write, and him taking care of the house and the kids being patients, my boys. So really, is my success is the people that are around me, helping me, and um, supporting me, and everybody around, really everybody that's helped me along the way. And there's a lot, and I'm very grateful to each person in my life.
No, it's a wonderful story. Thank you so much, yeah, for sharing. Because your book first published in 2014, right? So kind of almost 10 years now. Before that, I don't know if there was a, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Was there before a book in English on Lenormand?
I think yes, yes, there was a book on English. There was a few on English, and there was a lot in German, and there was a lot in French, and there was
Mm,
a lot. But when I did my book, I was researching Mademoiselle Lenormand a lot,
mm,
and I read everything she has written, and she has written a lot of book about herself, like by herself, and published it herself,
mm,
about her life. And so I was trying to feel like how she is, and how she wrote so much. Like, she really wrote a lot,
mm,
and it was not easy to read that some of the stuff, because it was like, oh my god,
mm,
I understand why nobody wanted to publish her, so she created her own publishing.
mm,
So that reading her experience also, like, helped me, like, look at so much, the whole picture of,
mm,
she wasn't really doing one thing. She would do so many different things, and she would have a rooster, do a reading for a general. She would have a black rooster pick an item. She would have the cranial reading. She would have all sorts of type of things, to do it. Plus, she would have, like, some cards, and whatever she gets her hands on, she would
mm,
have. And the funny thing, um that's like, when you read so much, you just, you that constant practice, um it becomes like, how do I say this, everything becomes a reading. Everything, even the food you leave on the table before, when before the waiter comes and takes it, like whatever food you leave, you could do a reading.
Yeah.
It's like you could do readings with everything.
Yeah.
So
But
how
again,
you
it's
have your fork, how you have your fork. Okay, there's a piece of rice right there. There's everything. It becomes a reading.
mm,
So really, Lenormand is just one of the tool. I mean, even if you do it with, read a lot of tarot, it's the same. They're just tools that nourish the soul and grow it.
yeah, as you mentioned, you just begin to notice more, right? The more you practice, the more you notice other things around. Yeah. Yeah, Minty is saying that she loved this part about Mademoiselle Marie Lenormand.
Thank
And
you.
with your research, do you know, Rana, I kind of also had this question before with Mademoiselle Lenormand, did she use the Tarot Grand Atea or did she use the Petit Atea, the one that has like playing cards and
No, she
direction?
was she used the grand.
Yeah,
She used the
yeah,
grand etaya. She
yeah.
used the grand etaya.
So we have another comment here. Rana George's Lenormand book opened my eyes to the possibilities that a Lenormand card can offer. Her deck is my favorite go-to deck. Thank you, Rana. So nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll chat a little more about the deck, but Beverly is saying the artist Kali French did extensive research to ensure Rana's deck was authentic, researching the snakes, bears, plants. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Callie, we worked very, very, very closely because we lived in the same area, and so we would go and spend time with each other and go over everything. And I will send her pictures, and this is how I want it. This is how I want this, and then she would research, like for example, the bear, and she's like, you know what? I discovered in Lebanon there's only these type of bears. I'm like,
Mm,
oh, I didn't know that. So I'm gonna use this bed. I'm like, wow. So, and then oh yeah, this is the type of snake you have in Lebanon. I'm like,
mm,
okay. And then I'm like, okay, so this is I want the rider to look like this because this is, my thing.
mm,
Oh, and then I would have like, this is so funny because, like, for example, the tower card, I actually had to send somebody to take pictures of the tower, the a lighthouse that I used to
mm,
always go next to. And it was such a difficult task because there was like armies there. And somebody was like, I can't take that. They're gonna confiscate my phone. And then I would
mm.
like have another person go to take
Wow.
pictures for, I'm like, I need a picture for Cali. I need a real picture for Cali. How is it now? Because online we have a picture of how is
Mm,
it back. So she needed, and what she would do is like she would do like the mid, she would take back then and she would take now, and then she would do it like how it looked back then. So no, me and Callie worked amazing. And for
mm,
example, the really big one is the spirit card. I'm like, okay, so
mm.
I'm gonna send you what I have in my head
Yeah.
psychically. Okay. And I'm like, I see the spirit card, I see the energy of it, I
Look at the spirit, right?
see the being.
Mm,
Yes. So I said, I see the being. I'm gonna send it to you because I couldn't describe it. And I told her there is this element of this and there's an element of this. And then she would like the same moment, because we like sat down and on the phone, I'm like, okay, I'm sending it now. And then after a few hours, she sends me a drawing in
mm.
pencil, and I was like, whoa, you got it.
Wow.
You got it. That's what it is. So we connected on a psychic level, and this is
Mm.
how we were doing. We were doing every card, and Callie draws. So she sometime you know um, I always tell her I love you, I love you, I love you, because I gave her a little hard time because I am really very particular and I wanted certain thing. For example, like, if you can you believe the heart card was the hardest one to get? Like,
Oh,
not
was
the bat, the heart. Yes, the heart. Every time, like, nope, that's not it. I'm not feeling it. And poor girl, she's had to scratch and draw something else. I'm like, nope, that's not it. I'm not feeling it. And then she goes, I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, how about this? There's this box that my son gave me for Mother's Day, and let's try to do that. And then,
mm,
she would do it. And then I'm like, no, that's off. It needs to be that way. No, it needs. And she would, poor girl, she's actually redrawing. It's not like on the computer and everything. So yeah,
Mm.
she did amazing. She really
Mm.
did amazing. And we were like this, and then I had to push, and then we did something beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Beverly asks me to ask you about the letter card.
Oh my God. Beverly.
Okay. For those people who don't have, I've got two decks. I've got two copies of your Lenormand deck.
Wow. Okay. So the letter card, I wanted to use something meaningful. And this is my mom used to write poems. And this is a poem from my mom to my dad. And it was like a poem that she's actually wooing him, because they were like so in love and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, your eyes, your luscious lips, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I found it in her stuff. And I didn't tell her that I was doing that. And I have an uncle that he's a calligrapher, he's an
Mm.
Arabic calligraphy. So I told him to do it in a calligraphy way,
Wow.
to put it. And then I wanted like, a very old desk, and I was looking for some old desk that I wanted an Arabian, like a Lebanese desk of that time.
Mm.
And I sent Callie that. And then she did it with the
The
drape
curtain.
and everything. And then it was like really, it turned out amazing. And then when
Mm.
the deck came out, I have a cousin. He has, he happened to have, he collects antique. He happened to have that same, everything you see on the card is exactly
Wow.
the same. The desk, the thing, and I was like, I was blown that it was actually like a real thing in my family
Oh my
that
goodness.
Callie has drew, and we combined all that. So yeah, it's a love letter, and it's
Mm.
a very powerful. Like there's so much that went into that card, so many family members. um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
very
that's
meaningful.
so special. Yeah, no, absolutely. And also with your deck, I really like the playing card inserts. I think Kelly, she did such a great job with
Yeah,
them. They're
yeah,
just really
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to yeah. Even with that, we were like doing people that's. I told her, okay, well, this one has to look like this because he has this kind of energy.
Mm.
And then I would have like people from actual history that I know, and like some, like I would say, let's say here, like for example, this is actually historically correct.
Mm.
This is what they used to wear.
Wow, yeah.
And I would tell her what kind of energy I'm looking for a motherly, I'm looking for that. And then she would get it, and then we'll go back and forth to try to get it. And if you get the where is that one, the child, yeah, for example, the snake,
Mm.
I told her I wanted her to be a mysterious and sexy woman because this is what she represents. Because when you're describing the snake as the description, again,
Mm.
context, she's a very alluring, desiring, and very, like, kind of pulls you in, and you don't know what you're getting into,
Mm.
kind of thing. So, and then we would go talk, let's give her this, let's do this. And then
Yeah.
she'll go and try this, and then we'll go back and forth. Yes, I want dark hair, I want this, yes, yes. So um where is the child? Yeah, that one, the child card. Oh, like, okay, because they used to wear the
Mm.
tarbush, that's called the tarbush.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I want him to have a smirk, like he's like, yeah,
Mm.
I know how to play, and kind of thing. So she did these energies. I would send her a picture and vibe, and she would do
Mm.
it like amazing. So yeah,
Wow, it's such a beautiful, yeah,
yeah,
deck of
we
cards.
worked
So special.
really hard on this, really,
Mm.
really, really hard. It wasn't like overnight put together, or something that you can do. But this is
Yeah.
all, she was hand drawn. And not only that, it's so much energy behind every single card, and
Mm,
we would feel the energy, we would live the energy, because everything is around you. Like,
mm,
when we're working on the snake card, oh my things, she would call me, can you believe da 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 da? And I'm like, oh, can you believe da 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 da? Can you finish that snake card? So it would be like so many things, will happen. And then sometime, she would be like, okay, I need a break. I'm like, okay. So
mm.
it's there's so much happened in with every card has so much behind it, and
Yes,
so much energy.
totally.
So that's why this is a very, very heavy deck,
Mm.
and it's like serious. That's why I'm
Oh,
very proud of this.
yeah. No, it's beautiful. And yeah, I'm glad I have two copies. So just to make have the one I use on the backup. And I love the edition of gold. And this is you, right? For the woman card.
Actually, no. She
No?
no, 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 no. When Callie came, I was like really looking for a year for an artist, and I was looking, and I was asking the universe, I need an artist, I want that kind of art, I want that kind of da, 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 da. And people were trying to get me artists, and it wasn't working, working. And then one day, she comes to my meeting, and she told me I'm an artist, and I'm telling her, okay, well, I'm looking for an artist, what do you think? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And she gave me an example and it was the lady and the fish card.
Mm. A
I,
fish is beautiful. Yeah.
and when she gave me those two, I was like, let's go.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just looking for the fish card. I've got the thing with fish. I'm afraid of fish, Rana. I have a phobia of fish, and so many decks they have really scary. Some decks even have fish with wings, flying fish. So
Uh-huh.
I love your fish. They're
No.
friendly.
Yeah, and when I saw the fish card, I was very happy because she really got, like, even like when I saw that she even got this land here. And I
Mm,
remembered, it brought me to, like, my dad used to take me fishing in the morning, wake me up and take me, and I used to hate it because these rocks right here, they're
mm.
very slimy. And then she got these rocks, and because she got these rocks, and you can see the sliminess on them, and it took me there. I was like, okay, that's it, that's my girl.
Yeah. But also even how the card itself depicts, I guess, not the meaning, but how it kind of shows that abundance, that fish is
Yeah,
almost jumping at you from
yeah,
the water,
yeah,
right? That
yeah,
flowing,
yeah,
like
yeah,
jumping at you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is she did it all psychically, all by herself, like without
Mm.
any guy. What this the fish card, it was all Callie. And I was like, this is how I knew that we're connected psychically. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
And everyone is loving all the stories. So that's why I'm just highlighting for people in the chat.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and even Asian Lady, your book remains her go-to book. Yeah, something special about it. Yeah, but your book also,
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's such a complete manual. It's quite like a large book, right? How long did it take you to write it, Rana?
When I want to say, between, I think it was 1 year, I was literally living under a rock. Between 10
Mm,
months to almost 1 year, I was literally, I wouldn't, my boys want to talk to me. I'm like, don't talk to me. Nobody comes in the room. I don't want to see anybody. I can't talk to anybody. I'm in the middle of writing. And it was a heavy time,
mm.
very heavy time that I did not, uh, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
but
it
what
was
a
a very
book!
hard
I
time
mean,
because I when I'm writing, I cannot have any. I'm like focused, and I'm, especially when the juice is coming. I can't stop. If I stop, then I have to, like, it's just, this is how I do it. And because I
mm,
wanted to do a full book, I did not want to, like, I wanted to put everything. And this is what I felt I need to, if I'm gonna do a book, if I'm gonna put my name on it, it has to be like all my knowledge, and I'm gonna put it on. And do we're always growing, So now I have like more, because this was,
Mm,
I wrote it, so it's more experience, more. I don't have in the book, I did the book before I did the deck, so I don't
mm,
have the 4 cards in the book.
mm,
And
mm.
so that's that, I need to, like, make an amendment
Yeah.
to that, because
Mm,
I don't have, and now I cannot live without the 4. I mean, this is, I use it all
mm,
the time. I use the 41, and it's
yeah.
been amazing. And I have so many people like telling me, when I did the 4 cards, I know a lot of people. I'm going off the tradition, but
Mm,
it was something that I really, really, really wanted since I was a child. I remember being a child, I'm like, I need a spirit card. Why there's no spirit
mm,
card? I don't want to use anything else. And I need, this kind of card. And so I did it. I when I did my deck, I was like, those are the cards I
mm,
needed when I was growing up. And then the sex card and the work card, I did them because
mm,
there was such a fight when Lenormand was starting. I didn't even know their systems. I didn't even
mm,
know so many things. And the fight amongst the Lenormandists, no, is this, no, is that. I'm like, you know what? Let's keep
mm.
this and this, and then let's make a card especially for that.
Yeah,
And
so can you just, for those people who don't know, well, I'll show the card. So we have the spirit card, right? So that's
well,
the
we have the
30.
spirit card, and that's for, when you feel things, when it's your intuition, when it's your gut
Mm,
feeling, and then when you just feel a presence. And sometimes, everybody has felt cold air sometime, like sitting,
mm,
and if you're like, whoosh, this is like, our ancestors are with us, our loved one, we have, so many things that we cannot see. And
mm,
then for, and also it works as your gut feeling. So yeah, that was the spirit
yeah.
card.
And then we have the
The
incense.
incense burner, I needed that one too, because I needed something to clear. So we have the clouds, and the clouds is, and then I cannot use, I tried and it doesn't work, the whip for clearing. Okay, the whip
Mm,
is argument, the whip is pointing the fingers, the whip is this. So I needed something, because I use incense. This is what I do, this is what I use.
mm,
I'm a medium, I use incense, I do this. And I use like so much things to clear. I have these
yeah.
the thing to clear. I have crystals I use. So I
Mm,
put this. I wanted an incense burner.
because we
And
can use it as a
look how
protection card as
beautiful. So
well.
this is how the incense burner used to be in every house in the Levant
Mm,
area, in the whole Levant area. This is what it looked like. This is what it looked like, and it was like a thing. It was a thing. Like
beautiful.
every Friday, people would burn incense to change the energy.
Mm,
Like in the 1800 and in the early 1900, it was a thing. Every Friday, you put the incense and you change the energy in the house.
yeah. And then for the sex cards, you have the bed,
A
right?
sex card, yes, I had to do a sex card,
Mm,
because some people, a system does the lily and another system does
mm,
the whip, and
mm,
I wanted to take that away. So now I
mm,
have a sex card, and I wanted, and this is so ironic, because I wanted a very Arabian,
mm.
Moroccan, Andalusian, and guess, look where I am now.
Yeah, in Morocco, yeah. And yeah, and for the work cards, you have the market, right? So the
Yes,
market,
yes.
yeah.
This one also was really super fun to do. The more I wanted also, because some people have the fox for for the
Mm,
work, and other
mm,
people have the moon or the anchor. And I wanted all of these cards to actually, they have so much meaning and we need them. So
mm,
I did a work card. But at the same time, I told people, you don't have to use them. You can still use the system of the 36 card and
mm,
still stick to the tradition of it. And but I the feedback that I got, I was actually
mm,
worried. I actually called a lot of, the traditionalists in Germany. I called my friend Bjorn. I told him, look, I'm doing this,
mm,
but he's like, no, I like the idea. I love it. Da, 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 da. And I called somebody else, Stella, another friend of mine. They do the German. They're very traditional. I
mm.
chose the most strict people, and they're like, they encouraged me, and this is what gave me the courage to actually do it.
Yeah.
Um, And I said, you don't have to use them. But the feedback I got,
Mm.
I was not expecting that. The
Yeah.
feedback I got of how many people they're using it, it was humongous. And I am
Mm.
very,
Wow.
very, very blessed that
So when you do Grand Tableau now with 40 cards, you
mm,
do it like nine
it's a
yeah,
box.
yeah, a box, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Because
it's the eight,
I used
eight,
your cards in the reading, but I haven't done a Grand Tableau
yeah,
with extra cards
yeah.
yet. Yeah.
It's eight and eight.
8 times, yeah, 8 times 5. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so kind of we talked a little bit about the cards, but people coming to Lenormand, beginners, novices to Lenormand, what
Yeah.
advice would you give them? Where do they start?
Did I start by just learning the cards and like sitting with every card and learning the meaning by themselves, like writing down, like you have to go through the steps of this is mean this means
Mm,
this means this, and then you just go through it, and and then you start doing dailies. Like you pull a card in the morning and then you see how did that play in my day. I know
mm,
it means this under this context. I know it means this under that context. And, so it has like multiple meaning. And then you see how it's working for you. And it's really just have fun with it. That is
mm.
my main advice because it's divination. Enjoy it and have fun. When you're not having fun, it's just not gonna work. So if you're not having fun, just put it aside and choose something else.
Yeah. Also, when I was doing your course, a master class in 2017, and I think in the first class you mentioned that we will be doing a grand tableau. It was eight weeks, I think. Yeah, I was terrified. I was like, grand tableau for beginners. Now I think it's such a liberating. It's actually not as scary. But can you talk a little bit more on that? Because I know, like, even my friends, who read Lenormand a little bit, they do like 3 card or 7 card readings, but Grand Tableau, they kind of, no, 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 it's just too many cards on the table. It's terrifying.
It's like swimming when you're swimming in the kiddie pool and then you can swim. Okay, I want to swim in the regular pool, or you want to stay. This is what it's like. You're like you're taking that jump, but the moment you take that jump in the regular pool, you're like, hey, that's easy. I could do that because you already have the basics. Since you're doing the 3 cards, you already know how to do 2 cards and 3 cards and connect everything. So you're just making it in a big thing, and
Mm,
and then you look for like the pieces where you want to look at it, and you start seeing the story unfold. So the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
mm,
It's just practice. And it's
yeah.
really, really, people get like, oh my god, even like with tarot cards, when you do like the key opening, which is like a
Mm,
big spread, it's you could do it, and it's actually fun. It's fun to see
mm,
all these ins and out, and it is all about perspective and how you see things. So if
mm,
you feel this is going to be hard, it is going to be hard. And if you feel I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to try and have fun, and let me see what's going to happen. So how
mm,
you go in it, this is again, this is divination, and you have to. It's all about here.
mm,
It's more about here. So you have to feel like, okay, I'm ready to do grand tableau, and let me play around with it,
mm,
and that's it. But if
yeah.
when you're like have, oh my god, this is too much, da, 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 it is going to be too much
Mm,
because you already have that perception in your head. So I tell people, please dive into the grand tableau. When I was a child, that's all I was doing. I was doing grand tableau mostly. I was doing grand tableau. I would say 80% of my readings were grand tableau because
mm,
I started with the Grand Tableau, and it was just how it's done. That was the
mm,
picture that was in that little thing, and I'm like, okay,
exactly.
that's how you do it, and then I would
Yeah.
do it. It was like
It's become my favorite as well. But the way I started, when I was still a little bit like scared of too many cards on the table, I started that I would lay out Grand Tableau having a question, but then I will just kind of, you don't have to read Masha Grand Tableau, the whole thing. You read the surrounding cards. So you find your significator, what you want to read about, and read around.
Yeah,
But then kind of you build up because you can't like, it's so fun and you begin to explore more. But
yeah,
that's how I taught myself. It's not scary. Just read 9 cards if it comes in the square,
exactly.
around that. Yeah, and now I love it so much.
Exactly, like just swimming in the pool. You go from that kiddie pool, then you go into the big pool, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna swim here. I'm not gonna go to the deep. And then you're comfortable in the beginning, and then you go, okay, I can move further. I can move further, and then slowly. It's slowly. But
Yeah.
you take small step, and then you'll get there. Um, Give yourself a little bit more. Believe in that.
Mm.
I want to have fun. It's not never push yourself though. If you push yourself, it's you're going off again.
Mm.
Fun, have fun, just have fun.
Yeah, and of course, in your book, you describe, different spreads, more smaller spreads, grand tableau step by step, which is really, really helpful. Yeah, and your book is just a gift, I think, to so many of us. Yeah, I.
I have a detail. I have details of how to start, what you do, taking it slowly, doing exercise, all that kind of stuff. This is all still valid, and
Mm,
and look, you start with everything, and then you evolve, and it becomes
mm.
really a strong tool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And you did, kind of, you did mention that about context is everything. So yesterday I pulled 3 cards for me because I'm going to Europe later in the year. And I asked about what can I expect from my trip to Europe
Mhm,
later in the year in September.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I've got the stars, I've got the clover, and I've got the crossroads. Yeah, so kind of like it's really, well, for me it's very positive, right? Because
It is.
crossroads in
It
the
is.
year, if you
It
go
is.
for the trip to
You're gonna go
Europe.
multiple places. It's gonna be like a new adventure with lots of opportunity and lots of like fun stuff. I always like when I see the crossroad. I always like to pull another card after the crossroad.
Hmm. Well,
So I
I think I shuffled. I haven't pulled the next one because I think I did shuffle. Yeah, now I have the birds, but I'm not sure if it was the last one.
I
Yeah, but
pulled one for you. That's
nice.
so your trip is very important, and you are gonna find some answers. You're gonna find something that's gonna open up new doors for you. So this
Hmm.
is actually a very good trip.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah, but I'm wondering, just kind of using these cards as an example, if we do, for example, a love reading, right, and we get crossroads, would you still kind of interpret it as a positive way, or you think
No,
it's
the
more
context of a
yeah.
love reading, you can, okay, well, first you have the clover. The
Mm,
clover is fast, a quickie, just having fun.
mm,
Um, and the crossroad is multiple partner or just have fun and wham bam, thank you,
yeah,
ma'am, I'm leaving.
yeah,
Just to have
mm,
fun and I'm out to the next. What's
mm,
next? What's next?
yeah.
So no, that's not, it would not be positive, even with positive cards. Yeah.
Mm. And with the work reading, it will be some kind of other opportunities coming, right? So you need to
Work
kind of,
reading would be actually, no, it is good. Work
yeah,
reading, this is a good opportunity, and you have multiple thing,
yeah.
and you could
You
probably
also like take
more
a
than
chance.
one thing to do. Okay, you're
Mhm,
gonna have more than one thing to do because of that crossroad.
mm,
So more
mhm.
responsibility is gonna be doubled, or you're gonna have another source of income. So it depends on how the question is done.
Yeah. Your cars look so pretty on the screen. I'm just looking at the cars. They're just so nice.
Thank you.
So beautiful, Rana.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
so
from clear, so it's easy to see. And
mm,
the way Kali did the arches. When you put them together in a grand tableau, they kind of connect. She did an awesome
that's
job.
what I do all the time, like, well, even yesterday I did the 3 card reading and
And
I
when
took
I
a
told,
picture.
and then when US Games, I told
Mm,
them, look, I want gold, I want oomph, I
in the
want
back,
meat,
it's
I
really
want
nice.
glamour, I want this. And I think this is the first deck that they actually did pearlize. They tried it, and it was so amazing that the actual card is
Mm,
pearlized, and that they did the card here, the gold in the front and the gold in the back. And
mm,
I I'm so proud that they actually did that. I'm so happy that they did
mm.
that for me, and
Yeah.
I'm so proud how it came out. Yeah,
It's
and
really nice to have a
this is
teacher as
the
well.
creation of, yeah, the
Mm,
creation of Kali, what she created. I said, I just, this is all the symbols that are important, because this
mm,
symbol, the two squares in each other, you see that the two squares in the light blue,
mm.
that's the symbol of, the
Okay.
one square is
Mm,
the breath in, the other square, so it's the
good.
actual, this is a symbol for the breath, and taking a breath
Mm.
and letting it out.
It's kind of a good reminder, before we read the cards. So you turn the cards and just take a deep breath in and breath out before you
Yeah,
begin the reading.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with playing card inserts, Rana, do you read them when you do your readings, or
I
not always?
I honestly, I do the the people cards,
Mm,
but it depends. It depends on the context. It depends on the reading. Like, let's say, when we were doing, long time ago, we were doing the what's his name, the whew, Prince Charles, the his son, well, King
yeah,
Charles now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when he was pregnant, when they were pregnant,
Mm,
when Kate was pregnant,
yeah,
and everybody is like,
yeah.
oh my God, and then so we pull cards. So if you pull card, then you get the male, it's gonna be a male. So this is like one of the thing, but the actual, the diamonds and all of that. I honestly, the deck has so much information, and it gives you everything that it doesn't need. um for me, the way I read,
Mm,
it doesn't need it, but for other people, other diviner, they might enjoy this, and that it takes them somewhere else. So with divination is very personal,
mm,
and how you connect and the information. But for me, I already get so much information from the picture and from the everything else around it, that I don't use it, but I know a lot
mm,
of people, a lot of traditionalists, a lot of great, amazing reader uses it, and they do a
mm,
wonderful job with it. So it is a
mm,
personal preference, and this is why I
mm,
put it in. Also, I put it in as a homage to my Dondorf, because that's how my
mm,
Dondorf, my first deck
mm,
ever, and then we did. This is the numbers, and this is how the numbers were exactly. They were like in both.
mm,
This is actually called the Arabic number, but this is now the Arabic number. This is
mm.
how the Arabic number. So for 33, this is how 33 is written, but it's called, these are the Arabic numbers right now.
Yeah,
But in Arabic, this is how it's written, 33.
yeah, both.
So,
Yeah.
and this is how I did like an homage for that deck that was for a French soldier, and it was done in Arabic. This is
Mm.
what?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. And I think also, the stories that you shared with us will make these cards even more special to us. And I know probably quite a few people haven't. Honey Lou just ordered the deck. So she's saying that she just ordered it on Amazon. I do have the links, by the way. So I do have a link to Rana's Amazon page where you can, like, if you open the book and the deck will be there, along with, of course, Rana's website as well, for those of you who like watching later, and if you don't know, it's all in the description. Yeah, before I go, just a couple more questions, Rana. You know how in sometimes in tarot community people say that they don't do predictive readings. I
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't think you can divine or do a reading without the element of prediction in them. What are your thoughts? Like, I know that you do, because even in your book you do have the, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
expected of me. It's been expected of me since I was a child, so I don't know any
Mm,
other way. because it's expected of me. At the end of the day, whatever the diviner is comfortable with will do. If you have, if when you have so much practice, you because of the doubt, a lot of people are afraid that if they say something, they're afraid that it actually might happen, or they're afraid that it might not happen, or if they're afraid. So when you go over that fear, this is when you, it's really very important point in like growth.
Mm,
And some people do it here, some people do it here, some people do it here. um, and it's okay anytime, to do whatever you feel is right. And then some other people, they say it's not ethically right also. So it's up to you and what you
mm,
feel and how, you know what makes you okay here. It's
mm,
always like, am I okay doing that? No, if I'm not okay doing that, I'm not going to do that. But if
yeah.
I'm okay doing that, I have no problem. For me personally, um it's been like, this is the norm, this is what you
Mm,
do.
yeah.
This is, yeah, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you, hey, you're gonna get a promotion, and hey, there's a wall, maybe you need to watch out for that
Mm,
wall. So it's up to you. But this is it took me a long time for me to accept that.
mm,
So I totally understand how it is very difficult to do the predictive
mm.
reading.
But it's still for me, see, that's the thing that it just like readings, they by nature, they sort of do have a predictive element. Even if I ask a question about, okay, what can I do to get the promotion, right? And then
Yeah,
the cards will tell you, okay, do that, don't do that.
yeah,
And then you follow the cards or not, but then something will happen, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
cards will just, so it's sort of like, yeah, the question maybe not question for prediction, but then the cards will tell you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I believe we have the tool to get into that information. And you have the information, and I believe all information, we already have it in here, and
Mhm.
this is only like, it helps us to get the information.
Yeah, to pull it out
So
from the
yeah,
subconscious. Yeah.
why not? Why not? If you have the information, why not? um,
Mm,
but at the same time, you do what you're ready, and that's it. That's
yeah.
it. If you're not ready, you're not ready, and you do. And this is better for you, and better for you to serve, and how you're serving. And some people, they better serve in different way. So for me, it's all about like, what is the best way for me to serve that person. Sometime that person, needs something more. But there's
Mm,
always like, that predictive thing. Yeah, you have to know, like, is everything gonna be okay? Yes. Is everything gonna be okay? No. So
mm,
it helps to put that, so to know. Yeah.
yeah, it
I mean,
does.
it is even with tarot. You can, I predictive reading with everything, I
Mm.
predict with the tarot card. I do that too with
Do
any
you
card.
read tarot and Lenormand more kind of more or less equally in terms of like the amount of time, like in terms of your preference of a system?
I do Lenormand mostly. I
Mm,
do Lenormand mostly, because I discovered when I do both, it gives the same information. I see the same thing.
mm,
Thank
yeah.
you, Beverly. I do. I see that it just reiterate, and then sometimes some clients need a strong, like, after I do the reading, and then I pull a few cards of tarot, and it says exactly the same. The picture says it.
Mm,
The picture says exactly the same.
mm,
So, um, yeah, it depends what I'm
mm,
feeling. But
mm, mm.
mostly is, I do normal, because it's quick, especially when you have a client and you're on a time. It's quick, and it tells you right away what you need, what you don't, what you need to focus on, and what's going on, and what the person that came to you, what is the best thing they need. It's just very clear.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So what's coming up for you? There were a couple of questions I think I saw you earlier. People asking about your future classes, future workshops. Can you just share
I
what's exciting
have
that we can look forward to?
I have I have three classes with. I have the Lenormand World Lenormand Summit with the WDA. I have um, the I'm doing the Pride. I'm doing the divination. Um, I have a few classes I'm working on, and I have a little surprise that I'm gonna be revealing soon. That I hope you guys, enjoy. It's I'm working on it. So yeah,
Mm. Yeah, well, I'll be at the World Divination Summit. I think it's next week. I think they said 6 days or 7 days. Yeah,
next
yeah, that's
Saturday.
very
Next
yeah.
Saturday, I'm gonna be teaching a class. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see you there. And before we go, on your Instagram, very often you post, I guess, in a series of protect your energy.
Mm.
What can we do to protect our energy, and how do you protect your energy, Rana?
Oof. Oh, that's oof. That needs like another 2 hours.
Well, there is an instance card here, so that's kind of my take.
Well, the easiest thing is to uh, be conscious, be aware, and doing like little things. Like, for example, the water is alive. Make sure, when you're drinking that water, nobody is like, I'm just going to give one example. If somebody is fighting in front of you and you take the water and you drink it, then you're drinking that fight because this is alive. So this is part of protecting your energy. Is you take the water and you say love, 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 and you drink it. So you fix that kind of thing. This is one little thing I do. But it's not as something that you do. It's actually a way of life. It's part of your life, of your everyday life. But there is so much out there to do. But this is like a little one tip that I do is you just go
Mm.
love, 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 and then you drink.
Intentionally, yeah. I'll just quickly pop your
So
website
you
here.
be careful, and be careful of a lot of the stuff that you watch on TV, because that comes in the house. So you always clean after that. So because
Mm.
then people will start fighting, and if there's so many, people watching, for example, a lot of fight movies or horror movies or something, or a lot of news or something, and then
Mm.
you have like this because everything is around us. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
because
a
in
lot.
yoga, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot to do. I mean,
Mm.
we can sit here for another.
Hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah, because in yoga, there is like a kind of one teaching about cleanliness. So it's not about only eating clean, right? But also it's about what we're feeding our souls, what we're feeding our minds. And yeah, and that's exactly what you said, I think. And our
Exactly.
mind is comfortable, like again, because I practice yoga, for me, the system is so
Yeah, yeah,
familiar that you're healing, well, prana, which is chi, which is the
yeah,
vital force, goes where your intention goes. And I think with you sending love, 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 love to water and to what we touch, what we hold, it has like a huge healing power that so many
yeah,
of us we kind of forget. Simple, it's there all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So it's very important what you said is what you're feeding your mind, and what you're feeding your eyes. That's very important. Like, for example, on Instagram, when you're going through the stuff, I always look at things that makes me happy. So if I
Mm.
look at things if I start looking at one thing after the other that making me upset, then I see, like, I start getting upset at home. I start getting upset at things. So I look at kittens. I look at So
Mm.
it's yeah, it depends. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Mm.
And if you
Yeah.
do want to need to look at certain things, just make sure that you're aware, that you center yourself again, and you
Mm.
there's
Yeah. And again, inhale and exhale. Hey.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, yeah, we just kind of over an hour. So thank you so
Okay.
much, Rana, for
Thank
this
you.
conversation, for being so wonderful. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
everything
everybody
that
that joined.
you're doing for us, for people who love Lenormand with your teachings, and being so passionate and being so, like, so beautiful inside and out. I'm really grateful. And as I said, like, you're very special to me, and you're just such an amazing teacher. And I'm so very grateful to you for taking your time and for spending this time of your Saturday evening or Sunday morning for us in Australia with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and people saying beautiful things as well.
Thank you.
I went so fast. Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you.
if you can, Rana, just stay for a second, but we will just finish our live. All the links for you watching and watching back are provided Rana's website, where you can keep an eye on what's coming up. But World Divination Lenormand Summit is next week, where Rana mentioned that she will be presenting. And yeah, so thank you so much, everybody who joined us live, and to those of you who will be watching back.
You can,
And
I'm more on Instagram. So if you want to know more what's going on, what I'm doing, it's like the Instagram and the Facebook. Those are like actually my main, my only two.
Okay, yeah, I will include then if I can then your Instagram page as well. I will include it in the comments so people will see it in the description of the video. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Rana. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'm sure Rana and I will see you around on our online sphere. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.